Alright, so I'm at the bank trying to charge my car. I think I mentioned earlier that some jerk broke the charger here. They broke like it has this thing where you push it in and it kind of locks in and charges, and they broke the thing that kind of like locks on, but I fiddled around with it and it always falls down and doesn't work. But if you pull it up high enough and at the right angle, it will hold its spot, and I'm gonna see if it charges my car or not while I do that. So I'm just experimenting that. So anyway, while I'm sitting here doing that, obviously I have a lot of reading I'd like to get done and stuff, but I thought I would talk about the 3 days that I spent with my family, because since life's expensive and it costs a lot to fly to Maui and accommodations here are extremely pricey, my older sister rented one nice car and then we used my car, so it was enough to barely fit everybody in the two cars because they had a lot of room. And so my Nissan Leaf got used a lot during those like 4 mornings, or basically 3 days, and then the last day we had like a half day because then I had to go to work. So we drove to Iao Valley and hiked around, played in the stream. We drove to Twin Falls and hiked. We went to Big Beach and we went all over the place. And so this car got to get tested a little more instead of just having me and just doing my daily routine. Is like we were going all kinds of places I don't normally go, and there were like 5 people in the car instead of just one guy. And so it had more weight and it was going a lot of miles in a lot of different places with elevation and stuff. So got to test the little car a little more. And like I said, these little used Nissan Leafs with the smaller range are great for certain things. Like me, I live on an island, so most of the time you don't have to drive very far. I couldn't go to Hana, I can't do that drive, and I can't go up to Haleakala, so there are limits. That's why like these cars that keep making better and better range, like the Teslas and the new Nissan Leaf and the Chevy Bolt, I am so for that. That is such a good thing. But mostly if you have a little car like this on an island like this, it works really good. It probably works really good for like college students and like old people that aren't gonna leave their cities and stuff. And then also it would work really, really good for families with more than one car. Cause people would have a blast using this thing all over through town and commuting to work and doing everyday errands and stuff. But it would be nice to have at least one car in the family where you could take the long trips and stuff, because right now these things would be way too limited to do that. They're making the range better and better, and hopefully they'll start doing more and more like charging stations. I think Tesla's doing a really, really good job. They have long range on their cars and they have a lot of charging stations all over the place. But if the other cars could follow suit, there's a few that are doing okay on the range thing, but the charging stations aren't as good for the other cars as they are for Teslas. So if they work on that, because ideally what I think they should have, they need to have kind of like 300-mile range be the standard, because that's similar to what a lot of cars got with a gas engine. So you can do the same kind of driving you did. And then they need to work on charging that's fast enough that you can get the car back up to 80% in no longer than half an hour. Because if people could drive like 4 or 5 hours, or 3 or 4 hours, either way, and pull over, charge the car for a half an hour while they went to the bathroom, got a snack, walked around, got some circulation in their legs, that wouldn't be so bad. That wouldn't be a huge adaptation from what they're already doing. And like, there's plenty of people who care about the environment and everything, that they'll make sacrifices, but there's a lot of other people that just care about functionality. They just care about continuing their lives the way they do. So that's why I'm happy that they're extending the range in the cars. Like now Bolt is over 200 miles. The Nissan Leaf is going to be over 200 miles because they've made the battery smaller and more compact. So even though it's only 40 kilowatts, I guess it doesn't weigh as much, so the car can go farther. So they're projecting a 200-mile range on the Leaf, which is pretty cool since it's going to be just under 30,000. So that's two good cars out there besides Tesla, because Tesla's going to be pretty backed up with resis for a long time. So I love what Tesla's doing. I think they're doing more for getting electric cars on the road than anybody, but they're kind of a victim of their own success right now. They've done so good that they're backed up with orders and they can't keep up. So it's going to be a while before a normal person can just go get a Model 3. Whereas you could go get a Bolt or a 2018 Leaf right now, and things are continuing to improve, so it's good. They just got to get that infrastructure. But anyway, this little Leaf did great on the little 3 days with the family. Like, you just drive all over the island, do all kinds of fun things, have fun with the family. We get home at night, I'd plug it into an outlet at the garage, let it charge over the night. Next day we drive all over, do all kinds of fun stuff. I'd get home, plug it into the outlet at the garage, and it was just real simple, real convenient, real easy, and it worked out really good. And these things have a lot of zip, a lot of power. Had the 5 people in the car, it was moving around just as quick as it does when it's just me. Handled the extra weight like it wasn't even there. So have good reports on these little Nissan Leafs. They're really, really great cars for how cheap they are. Like I said, if you're in one of those situations I mentioned earlier, like being a college student or an old person that doesn't hardly ever leave town, or person like me that lives in a small island or anywhere else where you're not going to be doing a lot of driving, or if you're a family with more than one car, this is a great second car because you'll still have the gasoline car for long journeys, but this is great for the in-town stuff. So any of those situations, the way this car accelerates and stops, and how nice it rides, and the fact that the price is so low, it's just a steal if you can get what you need out of it. It works great in those situations. So it was nice testing it out in some different ways, and I just thought I would report the feedback from that because maybe some of you would have been interested in that. Anyway, I hope you all have a great day because I'm gonna take off now.